Well, a very good evening to you and welcome back on PACIS TV English News. My name is Benjamin Kwizera and these are top stories tonight. Some young people in Urugendabari sector, Muhanga district, have urged their peers to stay away from drug abuse, warning that substance use can jeopardize their future by affecting their ability to think clearly and make sound decisions. Students from Gabiro Combat Training Center visited the Kigali Genocide Memorial Site at Gisozi, where they paid a tribute to the victims of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. Residents and people engaged in various businesses in Nyaruguru districts, particularly those selling food and religious items, say that Assumption Feast, which will be celebrated tomorrow, Saturday, has brought much-needed relief to their businesses. In international news, the U.S. President Donald Trump's administration has asked the Supreme Court to allow construction of a controversial new ballroom at the White House to continue while administration appeals a lower court ruling that ordered a halt to the project. Welcome to our news in detail. This is the news brought to you in partnership with the Credo Hotel, located in the Huye district, southern province of Rwanda. Some young people in Rugendabari sector, Muhanga district, have urged their peers to stay away from drug abuse, warning that substance used can jeopardize their future by affecting their ability to think clearly and make sound decisions. More report. Some young people in Urugendabari sector, Muhanga district, have urged their peers to stay away from drug abuse, warning that substance use can jeopardize their future by affecting their ability to think clearly and make sound decisions. The message was delivered during the commemoration of International Youth Day, which was celebrated at the district level in Urugendabari sector. Young people who attended the event encouraged their fellow youth to avoid drugs and instead engage in productive activities and employment opportunities that can help them to build a better future. They said drug abuse remains a major challenge for young people because it can affect their health, behavior, education, and ability to pursue meaningful economic opportunities. Uramutse Gilbert, Director in charge of Youth Project and Arts Development in the Ministry of Youth and Arts Development, urged the young people to make good use of the opportunity available to them and turn them into avenues for personal and economic development. He also encouraged the youth to stay away from drugs and other harmful substances, saying that developing their skills and making responsible choices would help them contribute to the country's development. The call comes as authorities and communities continue to raise awareness about the dangers of drug abuse, including the consumption of illicit and locally produced alcoholic beverages, commonly referred to as ibyuma. The International Youth Day celebrations were held under the theme Building Youth Capacity to Harness Available Opportunities. The theme highlights the importance of equipping young people with knowledge, skills, and opportunities that can enable them to become productive members of society and actively contribute to Rwanda's development. Well, from Muhanga district back to Kigali. Students from Gabiro Combat Training Center visited the Kigali Genocide Memorial at Gisozi, where they paid tribute to the victims of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. News in details. Students from Gabiro Combat Training Center visited the Kigali Genocide Memorial at Gisozi, where they paid tribute to the victims of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. During the visit, the students observed a moment of remembrance and laid tribute to the more than 1 million victims who were killed during the genocide against the Tutsi, which unfolded in Rwanda between April and July 1994. The visit also provided an opportunity for the trainees to learn more about the history of the genocide, its causes and consequences, as well as the events that shaped Rwanda before, during, and after the genocide. The students toured different sections of Kigali Memorial Site, where they were briefed on historical accounts, testimonies, and other records documenting the genocide. They were also given an overview of the history of Rwanda and the factors that contributed to the spread of genocide ideology and mass killings. The Kigali Genocide Memorial serves not only as a place of remembrance but also as a center for education and reflection. It preserves the memory of victims and contributes to efforts to ensure that history of the genocide against the Tutsi is not forgotten. For Gabiro trainees, the visit was also an opportunity to reflect on Rwanda's journey since 1994, including the country's efforts to promote unity and reconciliation, rebuild institutions, and strengthen national cohesion. The trainees were encouraged to draw lessons from Rwanda's history and recognize the importance of protecting peace, promoting unity, and rejecting ideologies that can lead to division and violence. As Rwanda continues to remember the victims of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi, visits to memorial sites such as Kigali Genocide Memorial remain an important part of education of younger generations and preserving historical memory for future generations. Well, from Kigali to Nyaruguru district, residents and people engaged in various businesses in Nyaruguru district, particularly those selling food and religious items, say the Assumption Feast, which will be celebrated tomorrow Saturday, has brought much needed relief to their businesses. They say the growing number of pilgrims arriving in Kibeho to attend the celebration has helped them to overcome a period of low business activity caused by the shortage of customers. As the Catholic Church and faithful around the world prepare to celebrate the Feast of Assumption on the 15th of August 2026, pilgrims from different parts of Rwanda and abroad began arriving in Kibeho on Friday to prepare for the annual celebration. The increasing flow of visitors to Kibeho has brought renewed optimism to business operators in Nyaruguru, particularly those involved in the sale of food, accommodation services, and religious items. Evariste Harerimana, Vice President of Private Sector Federation in Nyaruguru District, says inspections have been conducted among businesses to ensure that the services and products prepared for visitors meet the required standards. He is urging traders and other service providers in Kibeho to welcome visitors warmly, provide quality services, and avoid unnecessarily increasing prices. The Feast of Assumption is celebrated by Catholics every year on the 15th of August. It commemorates the belief that the Virgin Mary was taken into heaven. In the days leading up to the celebration and on the feast day itself, Kibeho becomes a major gathering place for Catholic pilgrims from Rwanda and other countries who come to pray and celebrate their faith. As a result, the money spent by visitors contributes to local economic activities, supporting residents' livelihoods and playing a role in the broader development of Nyaruguru district. Well, from Nyaruguru to Nyamasheke district, residents of Nganzo village, Ruharambuga sector in Nyamasheke district say they have been waiting for electricity for more than 2 years, although they live in a newly constructed houses built with the support from the Rwanda Development Board, RDB, through Caritas of Catholic Diocese of Cyangugu. They say the lack of electricity continues to affect their daily lives. News in detail. Residents of Nganzo village, Ruharambuga sector in Nyamasheke district say they have been waiting for electricity for more than 2 years now, although they live in newly constructed houses built by the support from the Rwanda Development Board, RDB, through Caritas of the Diocese of Cyangugu. They say that the lack of electricity continues to affect their daily lives. The residents say they need electricity for more than just lighting their homes. They see access to power as an opportunity to improve their children's education, engage in income-generating activities, and improve their livelihoods in other ways. Despite appreciating the quality of the houses they were provided with, residents say the absence of electricity remains a major challenge. At night, sometimes bump into walls, while their children struggle to revise their lessons because there is no enough light. The issue was already known before residents moved into the houses on the 24th of September 2025. During the inauguration of the second phase of the village, residents highlighted several facilities and services they believed would help them to improve their living conditions and become more self-reliant. These included a nursery school, electricity, a health center, a market, as well as livestock that would provide them with manure and milk. The nursery school was provided shortly afterwards. However, residents say the health center, market, and electricity have yet to reach the village.
They say the nearest electricity line is not far from Ganzo village, about 600 meters from the power line running along the Muaga-Nendezi road and approximately 1 kilometer from Lukuta market. Residents also say their houses were constructed with electrical fittings, including light fixtures, meaning that only the connection to electricity supply remains. Speaking recently to journalists, Nyamaseke District Mayor Mupenzi Narcisse said efforts were underway to secure a power supply with sufficient capacity to serve the village. He said electricity would be connected once the next phase involving the construction of 12 houses is completed. Ganzo village currently accommodates 42 families, while another phase of construction is underway and is expected to provide housing for an additional 24 families. Residents of Ganzo say what they need now is not another promise but actual access to electricity. For them, power is the next major step after being provided with houses, and they hope it will enable them to make better use of their homes and start income-generating activities that can improve their livelihoods.
Well, and that's all for local stories. And after a short commercial break, we're coming back with the international news tonight.
Yashuri bose bashaka ni College Fondation Sinagera.
Mama we.
Iri ni ishuri ribumbatiye icyerekezo cy'u Rwanda twifuza kuko ritanga uburezi buhamye mu mashuri y'inshuke, abanza, icyiciro rusange ndetse n'amashami y'imyuga n'ubumenyingiro mu buhinzi, ubworozi, food processing, ubwubatsi, ubukanishi bw'ibinyabiziga, fashion design, gutunganya imisatsi, ububaji n'ubusuderi. Hari n'amasomo y'igihe gito short courses mu mashami yavuzwe haruguru aherekezwa na practice zihagije kuko abanyeshuri bigira mu nganda za Sina Gerard International Football Academy yigisha abana guhera ku myaka 6 gucunga ruhago sawa atletism, imbyino nyarwanda no kwiga amategeko y'umuhanda no gutwara ibinyabiziga nabyo biri mu nyongera y'amasomo. Abana biga amashuri y'incuke n'abanza basoza ibyo byiciro bose bazi gutwara igare. Umwana wa segonderi we atahana uruhusa rwo gutwara ibinyabiziga. Witinda kwandikisha umwana ku ishuri kuri Nyirangarama cyangwa ku mashami ya Sina Gerard Entreprise Urwibutso hose mu gihugu. Ubindi busobanuro hamagara 0788535123 cyangwa 0788535999.
College Fondation Sina Gerard.
Twubaka ubukungu bushingiye ku bumenyi.
Babivuze ukuri kuwiza imyuga acukubiri n'ubushomeri maze agatangira gukirigita ifaranga. Mu ishuri umushumba mwiza TSS niho honyine wakwiga imyuga ku rwego rwa AD irimo guteka ibizwi nka food and beverage operations, ubudozi cyangwa fashion design.
Abashaka kandi kwiga by'igihe gito namwe twabatekerejeho kuko tubigisha gutunganya imisatsi, ubutetsi n'amahoteli. Ushobora no kwiga mu mezi 3, 6 cyangwa umwaka ndetse n'ishami ry'ubuhinzi no gutunganya umusaruro. Ni mutugane.
Umuryango umushumba mwiza kandi ubafitiye n'ishuri ribanza ry'ikitegerezo rya Ecole Saint Agnes guhera mu y'inshuke kugeza usoje abanza.
Ngwino wandikisha umwana wawe hakiri kare kuko twatangiye kwandikisha abashaka gutangirana n'umwaka w'amashuri mu kwezi kwa 9.
Ishuri umushumba mwiza TSS na Ecole Saint Agnes aherereye i Remera mu Giporoso ahazwi nko ku Cyamitsingi.
Ku bindi bisobanuro wahamagara kuri nimero mubona kuri ekara zanyu.
Ni murikagurisha mpuzamahanga.
BSF yateguye imurikagurisha mpuzamahanga ku nshuro ya 29 rizabera i Gikondo mu mujyi wa Kigali kuva ku itariki ya 28 Nyakanga kugeza ku ya 17 Kanama 2026. Ibihugu bigera kuri 20 byose bizaba biri mu rw'imisozi igihumbi. Buri gicuruzwa, service cyangwa kwidagadura wifuza byose bizaba bihari. Imiryango izaba ifunguye buri munsi guhera saa 3 za mu gitondo kugera saa 4 z'ijoro. Kubifuza kumurika ibyo bakora nababwira iki? Imiryango irafunguye. Hamagara 0785-640-098. Imurikagurisha mpuzamahanga Expo uritegurirwa n'urugaga rw'abikorera PSF ifatanyije na Minisiteri y'Ubucuruzi n'Inganda Minicom.
Rero ugiye kutubwira impamvu zatumye hitamo kuza gusaba akazi hano.
Bwa mbere nza gusaba akazi hano
nari nabitekerejeho mbabarire murakoze mu by'ukuri numvaga mfite ubushobozi ndetse n'ubushake.
So kutiteguye bihagije ni ukutaryama neza. Rwanda Farm, le paradis du matelas.
Ufite Canal Plus, abafite na Netflix. Niho honyine warebera K-pop Demon Hunters ndetse anime y'inyamamare muri iyi minsi. Mu mazi magari, abasare ba One Piece muri season ya 2 baragashya kugeza ku nkombe. The Polygamist mwese mwakukiye imitima, uyireba yicara na karahuri k'amazi hafi aho. The Night Agent season ya 3 nibiturika bidasigwo bihasanze. Kuri Netflix ufite amahitamo y'imyidagaduro y'impande zose z'isi. Netflix iri muri abonema y'ikirenga nta yandi mafaranga wongeyeho. Niba ufite abonema ihutire gukurikiza amabwiriza ubundi ubone igisobanuro cy'uburyohe.
Bakerarugendo namwe bashyitsi mugenda mu karere ka Muhanga no mu tundi turere two mu ntara y'Amajyepfo n'intara y'Iburengerazuba, namwe mwese mukeneye serivisi za hotel, ni muze nimugera mu mujyi wa Muhanga mukomeze gato. Nimugera i Kabgayi murahasanga hoteli yiteguye kubakirana urugwiro. Iyo nta yindi ni Hotel Saint-Andre Kabgayi. Hotel Saint-Andre Kabgayi tugufitiye serivisi zitandukanye za bar na restaurant kandi zitanga nk'ubuhanga n'icyubahiro ku mukiriya utugana. Tubafitiye kandi imikino itandukanye ifasha abatugana kuruhuka nka piscine wogeramo ukaruhuka mu mutwe, imyicungo igezweho abana bidagaduriramo bagataha banezerewe, tennis na table game bakunze kwita biyari, igisoro ndetse na volley yo ku mucanga bakunze kwita beach volley mukunda muri benshi nayo nitwayibagiwe. Ikindi nuko muri Hotel Saint-Andre Kabgayi twakira inama zitandukanye kuko tubafitiye ibyumba byiza by'inama utasanga ahandi, byaba bito ndetse n'ibishobora kwakira abantu benshi ariko by'akarusho. Tukaba tubafasha no gukora inama mukoresheje ikoranabuhanga mu gihe mutari kumwe mu cyumba. Kubifuza serivisi za catering, Hotel Saint-Andre Kabgayi amafunguro n'ibinyobwa tubibagerezaho ku gihe. Tubafitiye ibyumba byiza byagutse biri mu byiciro bitandukanye, harimo n'ibyo bakunze kwita suite mu ndimi z'amahanga, ndetse byose ukaba ubibona ku giciro cyiza. Muri make ugeze muri Hotel Saint-Andre Kabgayi ahora yifuza kugaruka kubera uburyo yakiranwe ubwuzu n'icyubahiro tutasanga ahandi, kuko serivisi tuzitanga kinyamwuga kandi zishingiye ku ndangagaciro za kizizi. Ku bindi bisobanuro waduhamagara kuri telefone ziri kuri ekara yawe cyangwa ukatwandikira unyuze ku mbuga nkoranyambaga zacu zitandukanye. Hotel Saint-Andre Kabgayi, imfura mu mahoteli mu gutanga serivisi nziza inoze kandi ku gihe.
Burya aho inzozi z'umwana zitangirira ni mu ishuri ritanga uburezi bufite ireme. Iryo shuri nta rindi ritari Ecole Saint-Anibal.
Ishuri Saint-Anibal ubu ryatangiye kwandika abanyeshuri bazaryigamo umwaka w'amashuri wa 2026 2027.
Twakira abana guhera muri materineri ya mbere, iya kabiri n'iya gatatu, ndetse no mu mashuri abanza kuva mu mwaka wa mbere kugeza mu mwaka wa 5.
Muri Ecole Saint-Anibal abana bahabwa uburere n'ubumenyi bufite ireme. Akarusho ku mwana wize muri iki kigo kandi nuko abadudubiza icyongereza n'igifaransa.
Kubira ishuri ari ry'abapadiri b'abarogationiste bituma umwana uharerewe akurana indangagaciro za gikristu.
Ushaka kwandikisha umwana wawe tugana Ibwerankori ahazwi nka Kimisange, ni mu murenge wa Kigarama mu karere ka Kicukiro. Dukora kuva ku wa mbere kugera ku wa 5 mu masaha ya mbere ya saa 6.
Ku bindi bisobanuro wahamagara kuri telefone ubona kuri ekara yawe. Tegura hazaza heza h'umwana wawe umujyana muri Ecole Saint-Anibal.
Welcome to our international news tonight. This Friday, the 14th of August 2026, Eastern Japan is facing a serious flooding emergency after record-breaking rainfall hit Chiba Prefecture east of Tokyo. At least 8 people have been reported dead, according to the latest reports from local authorities, where thousands of residents and travelers have been affected. More than 360 millimeters of rain fell in parts of Chiba within 24 hours, overwhelming drainage systems and causing widespread flooding. Some areas recorded exceptionally intense rainfall in short periods, leading to submerged roads, flooded homes, and landslide risks. The heavy rain also severely disrupted transportation. Around 7,000 passengers were stranded overnight at Narita International Airport, while railways and roads in the region were affected by flood waters. Thousands of commuters were also stranded at railway stations. Power supplies were disrupted across the region at the height of the emergency. About 68,000 households lost electricity, although the number without power had fallen substantially by Friday. Authorities issued Japan's highest level heavy rain warning in parts of Chiba as the situation deteriorated. The Japan Meteorological Agency has continued to warn of risks from flooding and landslides, urging people in affected areas to follow evacuation instruction. The rainfall comes during Japan's Bon holiday period, when large numbers of Japan people are traveling, adding to the disruption at airports, railway stations, and on roads. Japan Meteorological Agency continues to monitor rainfall issues warnings across affected areas. Well, from Japan to United States of America, U.S. President Donald Trump's administration has asked the Supreme Court to allow construction of controversial new ballroom at White House to continue while the administration appeals a lower court ruling that ordered a halt to the project. The emergency application was filed on Friday, the 14th of August, by Solicitor General D. John Sauer. The administration is asking the justices to temporarily block the effect of a federal appeal court ruling that requires above ground construction to stop unless Congress authorizes the project. The proposed ballroom is roughly 90,000 square foot facility estimated to cost about $400 million US. Construction involves the former east wing of the White House, which was demolished to make way for the project. The administration says the facility is designed to accommodate about 1,000 people and improve the White House's ability to host major diplomatic and official events. In its Supreme Court filing, Donald Trump administration argues that stopping the construction could create security risks. Officials say the project incorporates extensive security features and is connected to broader efforts to protect the president, White House personnel, and visiting foreign leaders. Well, and that story takes us to an end of our news edition tonight. But before we come to an end, let's go back to the top stories. Well, some young people in Rugendabari sector, Muhanga district, have urged their peers to stay away from drug abuse, warning that substance used can jeopardize their future by affecting their ability to think clearly and make sound decisions. Students from the KABIRI Combat Training Center visited the Kigali Genocide Memorial at Gisozi, where they paid tribute to the victims of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. Residents and the people engaged in various businesses in Nyaruguru district, particularly those selling food and religious items, say that the Assumption Feast, which will be celebrated tomorrow Saturday, has brought much needed relief to their businesses. In international news, U.S. President Donald Trump's administration has asked the Supreme Court to allow construction of a controversial new ballroom at the White House to continue while the administration appeals a lower court ruling that ordered a halt to the project. Well, it was a very huge privilege to be with you tonight, and thank you very much for choosing PACIS TV. My name is Benjamin Kwizera and I wish you a very fantastic weekend.